Hello everyone, I'm Carolyn Clairvoyant and I want to welcome you to my channel. Hello everyone, and I'm welcoming you to your September Tarotscopes. But before I start, I wanted to go through a few things that have been changing. Of course, if you've been checking into my website, you may have noticed it's had a bit of a facelift, which is quite beautiful. However, if you've got your old links in there, you may need to update them so that you're able to get my current links, because that was also changed. I do have a few special announcements, so if you've been following my travels and trying to book in with me, you may be seeing that my events calendar has been quite full. I'm down in Ballarat or around the Melbourne area at the moment. I'm going to be here for approximately about another month. Then I head over to around about Geelong. So this is your chance to connect with me if you want to have a face-to-face reading. Of course, I'm going to be back in Bathurst, New South Wales around about the 7th of November for private face-to-face readings, and also in Mudgee around about the 30th of November and the 1st of December. And you can check out all of this via my carolynclairvoyant.com website, or if you're on Facebook, of course, look me up under Carolyn Clairvoyant. I've made a bit of a change this month. I've decided to give you a little bit of a glimpse into how I work with the tarot. You may be finding that it's quite different, and others may be finding it's quite a stimulus. It's really fantastic for those that are learning tarot as well. You can understand the interpretations through somebody else's feelings or assumptions or training as well. So don't forget, if you also would like to learn tarot, you should check out my website. I also do teach, and I've released my own book and deck, which you will see me using my deck throughout this reading as well. Well, I thank you everybody. I hope you've really enjoyed connecting with me, and I look forward to many months ahead, if not many more years ahead, for us to all join together. So right now, just enjoy your monthly Tarotscopes. Hello Aquarius, we're going to be checking out what does September have for you. And of course, in doing this, we are going to cover the 5 aspects of your life. So we'll be talking about the home and the family, your career goals and aspirations, and of course your finances, health and well-being, and your relationship areas. So here we go. So as you can see, the first card that we've got coming around the home and the family is all to do with the 5 of Swords. Now the 5 of Swords in reverse. So when this comes up, this tells me there is past resentments or problems or arguments or frustrations that are resurfacing again. And because of this, you may be finding yourself quite hypersensitive to your environment. Not everybody's going to agree with you. What you think is right may not be right for everyone else. Therefore, you're going to need to reach some compromises. Perhaps this is a time inside yourself that you are looking at, I need to forgive and forget. I need to let go. I've also contributed to these problems or issues, and in doing that you actually allow more positive energy to come back into the home. Now some people that may be selling or buying, these may be regrettable sales. These are to a point where you're going, oh look, I've been here for so long, I really didn't want to sell, but time is changing. Perhaps the purchase, this is all I've got, this is all I can do right now. It might be that you're feeling a little bit of a push, but if you allow the energy to be turned into something more positive and learn from that situation, you will find that this month is very productive for you. Your career goals and aspirations. This is a conflict of interest. What you think you should be doing and what other people think you should be doing could be 2 different things. Therefore, you may be finding yourself going through a period of time of waiting for agreements, going through different departments. Perhaps you're conflicted whether you stay or you go. This is going to take a few more months before you are settling things down. So perhaps this could be important between the times of October, November and December, but it may also be important to the decision making that you are making to be around about March next year, gravitating to the 3rd month. So for those that are looking for work, you may be finding that there is only something temporary sitting around. Perhaps you need to take something right now because that suits your purpose, but it may not suit your budget or your income. You may be feeling that you don't have a choice at the moment. Perhaps there's been a lot of conflict around in the working environments, and jobs have been lost and companies have closed, and you might be finding yourself back out there into the workforce. And therefore you may be finding that there is a lot of discussions going on. This whole agenda to do with the career goals and aspirations are all to do with agreements. Therefore, it shows until matters are settled, there's going to be a little bit of conflict. You may not like all that paperwork. You may not like some of the people or the outcomes that are taking place. You might feel conflicted in your personal environments there, but it will clear. Just give it a little bit more time. Your financial areas, you've got the sun in reverse. This means past problems and issues are resurfacing to do with your financial areas. So if you've had, just say for instance, outstanding debt and you haven't cleared it out, it's going to come back up during this period of time. They're going to find you. They're going to literally come and say, hey, listen, this is your responsibility. You need to take care of it. And if you've been somebody that's been constantly going around in cycles with your finances, as in not a healthy budget and so forth, you may be finding those issues once again surface, and when they resurface, they're all about being able to deal with this in a little bit of a different way. Something you've been doing hasn't been working, therefore you're back at square one. Now, others may be looking at this as, I want a loan, I want an investment, I want to be able to get ahead. You may find that the past financial records that you have around you could be a little bit of a deterrent, whether or not this will be successful during this period of time. It's not saying that you won't have success a little later on, but this month may be a little bit of a holding pattern there. Of course, we're looking at your health and your well-being. It's good to see that something is definitely abundant and you do have some good results here. So you could be finding that you are working a lot more on your betterment. You may be focusing on ways that you can be a little bit more positive. Remember, I said if you're letting go of any resentments or guilt or frustrations to do with the home and the family, this is going to serve your health and betterment quite well. And if you work through the conflicts of why you feel the way you do about your career path or your goals or what the limitations are, once again, you'll feel better here. And if you get that monkey off your back where your finances are concerned, once again, you're going to feel a lot more better here. So this is all about abundance and improvements and being able to get through and make things a lot more better in your everyday life and conditioning. So taking care of your betterment and well-being, but I feel that you shouldn't have any real problems sitting here. Your relationships are all about commitments. Now, there is someone or something that you're very happy about. You may be finding that this is a time in which you can tend to flourish, as long as you're not thinking back on the negatives. Remember that we've just come through this. You're experiencing this with the home and the family. So don't use, the negatives in a relationship area, because you could be finding the only thing that's attracting you, especially if you are singles, is the warrior wounds that you've been through, the survivals. So this is where you want things to be a little bit more authentic. But you've got a chance, a very beautiful, happy chance sitting here in connection with your relationship areas. And because of this, you may be finding yourself willing to put a little bit more energy and effort into those commitments that make you feel happy. So this should be very good. Like I said, if you're working on the past areas that have been reflective here, then you may be finding you've got a very solid time in being able to get on the same page with your partner. For those single and looking, of course, you're going to be finding this is a time in which you're feeling that, look, this is where I need to be right now. What I'm looking for could have a lot to do with what I've been through in the past. So I'm looking for a better decision in my future. That's what I'm saying. Just clear this energy here. What's going on in that home and family? What's been a backlog since about probably May this year or May last year. It's still kind of focusing here. And you truly do want to be happy. That's what your whole essence of this reading's about. You felt conflicted in all these other areas. Now you're just looking for this beautiful commitment to happen. So you've got an opportunity here. You've got an opportunity to be able to be very content with your relationship areas, to work towards this, to be able to manifest what it is that you truly do need. And it is going to take a little bit of time to develop. This is 10 weeks. So what you start during this period of time is going to get better and better and better with those commitments as you move on throughout the months. Now, Spirit threw out a few cards for you, so we're going to have a look at what Spirit's message is for you. So Spirit shows here you've gone through the King of Wands in reverse, quite a few inconsistencies. You haven't really been able to count on much around you in the past time. Now, this is March, April, so March and April's been a little bit touchy and feely for you, and you probably got to the time of August and September with the Knight of Pentacles here, and you're going through a lot of reassessment in your life. Things have slowed down. You were once not knowing where you're going, now you're kind of feeling a little bit stagnated, okay, or you're just reprocessing your life to see what should be next. Now, you may be waiting on money to come through. Remember, I told you that we had a bit of a difficulty sitting there. So you may be waiting for money to come through, or you may be waiting on situations to manifest there. This is giving you a chance to really reassess if you're on the right pathway. Your whole focus is on getting rid of stuff. So this is the Judgment in reverse, and the Judgment in reverse is all about separations and changes and transitions and realigning yourself into a more positive period of time. And therefore, you may be looking at ways in which you can now have that sense of independence or that sense of identity of who you are. And this is why Spirit's saying, yes, but slow down. You don't need to be in a rush to make a lot of decisions. You just need to make them right. So at the moment, you are feeling quite frustrated. And you will find these conflicts are from past issues, from decisions and choices you've made in the past, knowledgeable choices, knowing that you've made these choices. You wanted this to be a better year ahead, then now you've got a chance to put those commitments into place. So September tells you work through your inconsistencies, reprocess what you've done, and now it's time to separate the wheat from the chaff so you don't go through repeating the same mistakes over and over. I hope you've enjoyed your reading for the time of September, and I thank you so much for joining me.